The Great War is something which will cause great suffering in Russia because it's going to be nuclear war, and the United States and NATO are going to send all the nuclear weapons they could possibly send, because this is a war to the finish. And nuclear weapons are going to cause immense damage and devastation. We also are conscious of the fact that the Russian people have the capacity to make sacrifice, and it's going to be nuclear war. Our Prophet, Allah's blessing be upon him, informed us of where the war would begin. Yes, we know it's going to begin in the north of Syria. That's what he said. But the consequences of the war, he said, 99 out of every 100 who fight in that war would be killed. And so it's a unique war. We know that the Lord God is going to intervene in this great war. And we want to take you to the Quran. We want to take you to what the Quran has recorded at that moment when they were attempting to crucify Jesus, the son of Mary. And he did not know what was going to happen, but the Lord God, he knew. And he spoke to Jesus, "Oh Jesus, I'm going to take your soul." And of course, when the Lord God takes the soul, he can either keep it or return it. And if he keeps it, well, they have succeeded, they have killed him. But the Lord God said, no, they did not succeed. I made it appear like that. He said, I'm going to raise you unto myself. And so the son of Mary was raised unto the Lord God himself. This is the Quran. And I'm going to cleanse and purify you of all the blasphemous things they have uttered against you and your mother. Now listen. And the Quran then goes on to say that I'm going to raise those who follow you, O Jesus, raise them high and dominant over the other group which rejected him. And when I raise them, the followers of Jesus, to that position of dominance, they will remain there until the end of the world. And so now the Quran is helping you in Russia to understand what happened these last 20 years after the collapse of the Soviet Union. This miraculous rise of Orthodox Christian Russia with missile technology second to none in the world, to a position of military dominance today. This is what the Lord God said in the Quran 1400 years ago. And this is what has now happened. I am saying this to you so you might know what the Quran says that is applicable to you. That not only are you going to defeat NATO in this war, that even after you have defeated NATO in the war, you will still remain the dominant force in the world. The Quran speaks of you about the Orthodox Christian world, and there's a whole chapter in the Quran, and it's called Surah Al-Rum. And Rome, of course, comes from the original term Rome. So when the pagan Roman Empire left Rome and went to Constantinople, they kept the name Rome with it. And that name Rome came in the Quran as Rum. But then came the transformation of that Roman Empire to become a Christian empire. And so Rome in the Quran is not pagan, it's Christian. And the Quran speaks positively of that Christian empire which was based in Constantinople. Some pronounce it as Byzantine. And Allah speaks in the Quran and says that you will have two victories. By His help you will be victorious twice. And the first one took place 600 years ago when the Quran was revealed at that time, when the Byzantine Empire defeated Persia. And then says the Quran, there will be a second one. The second one hasn't come as yet. That the second one is coming soon, when you'll be victorious and you'll defeat that world that was cursed by the Lord God.